Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm really excited because I'm doing my Sephora Vib sale recommendations. I do this every time there's a sale, and Sephora usually only has these sales a couple times a year. So this is a perfect time if you've been eyeing luxury makeup, maybe you're looking for a new staple in your routine, or you just need to restock. This is the best time to pick up from Sephora. Everybody waits for this because you can get 10, 15, or 20% off depending on if you're a Rouge, VIB, or Beauty Insider. I will leave all the information down below, but I want to quickly go over it. VIB Rouge gets to shop April 9th to April 19th, and that is 20% off. VIB is April 13th to April 19th, and that's 15% off. And then Beauty Insider, April 15th to April 19th. I feel like I can't speak. April 15th to April 19th, and that's 10% off. So the way I'm going to do this is only recommend products that really wow me or stand out to me. I'm not going to go through each category and name 10 concealers, 10 foundations. First of all, that would take too long. Second of all, I feel like I really want to spotlight the products that have just continued to really blow me away, the quality, the packaging, everything about them. And then I will have down below honorable mentions because there are a lot of products that I'm still loving that maybe I've mentioned, the last sale or the sale before that are still staple products. So definitely check below if maybe I didn't mention a category or you feel like maybe I didn't talk about something I love. I don't want to be too repetitive. So I will link everything down below and all the information about the sale. If you're new here, I hope you'll subscribe, and let's go ahead and begin. So I'm going to start off with my base, and I only have one moisturizer that's really standing out to me. This has been a favorite of mine for quite a while. If you've watched my channel, I've used it and recommended it multiple times, but it recently came into Sephora, which is really exciting. So this is the Freck brand, and this is the Rich Bitch Cactus and Vitamin C Moisturizer. First of all, the tube is huge. Now I will say I did check. This is 3.6 ounces. I purchased this from their website long ago. The one at Sephora is 1.7 ounces, which is still quite large because typically a moisturizer is an ounce at best. So this is a really thick cream, but it works into the skin so beautifully and it sits beautifully under makeup. So it comes out like this, very thick and moisturizing. And then when you rub it in, it just becomes kind of one with the skin and gives you deep hydration. It also has vitamin C, which is nice to really brighten your skin tone. Has a light fragrance to it, but nothing that stings or irritates. I tend to really slather it on my forehead and just up here where I tend to be dry. And it just has continually been a top drawer favorite for me. There's something about it that just really melts perfectly into the skin while giving you a deep hydration. And I like that it sits well under makeup. It doesn't gunk up or get greasy. So definitely recommend this if you haven't tried any of the Freck products. This would be a good pick to try. Quickly want to talk about two foundations, and I don't want to spend a lot of time because they're the same ones I recommended at the last sale. I have to say I cannot get enough of the NARS Soft Matte. I'm wearing it right now. I have the shade Stromboli Medium 3. It's a little bit dark, but once I put my concealer on and I pull it down my neck, it's fine. This is one of the highest coverage foundations that I have ever tried. It has that soft matte feel, so it's not a dried down crusty matte. It's a really nice kind of powdery soft matte feel. I feel like this does wonders for texture. It just smooths over, so the coverage is high, but it also smooths over just so beautifully. Everything blends perfectly over top of it. It wears beautifully throughout the day, especially if you use a setting spray. I can't get enough of it, so I had to give it another mention. And then quickly, I'm still loving the Too Faced Born This Way matte. This is such a beautiful foundation. This is not a soft matte like the NARS. This is more of a typical matte. Thinner texture, you can build it up. Very similar to maybe like a Double Wear, but a little bit less intense. Double Wear is like spackle. Okay, this is a little bit less intense. It's a medium coverage. You can build it to full. So if you prefer a high coverage, I would say pick the NARS. If you want more of a buildable medium, I would say pick the Too Faced. This is a beautiful formula. Lasts all day. Very smoothing on my texture. Again, those are huge things I'm looking for. It's very flattering on the skin. It's definitely matte though, so just keep that in mind. Both of these are matte foundations. That's typically what I prefer, and I just can't stop using it. These two are top drawer along with my Hailey's Beauty, which you can't get at Sephora, but those are like my top 3 foundations right now. In terms of concealer, I had one that I really wanted to shout out. I feel like I haven't given it enough love, and most days I'm reaching for this. Sometimes I mix this in with like a really high coverage concealer because the blendability and just the natural look of this is just so perfect. This is the Giorgio Armani Power Fabric. I like this so much that I had the shade 4 and then I bought the shade 3, or maybe it was the other way around. I can't remember, but I bought one, loved it, and bought another one. If you're a no fuss type of person, person and you want something that's gonna blend like that, that's not dry, cakey, not gonna cling, this is such an easy formula to work with. Very similar to the Touche Éclat from YSL, but even more coverage, I would say, on this one. It just blends effortlessly. You could dot it on, pat, 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 and be out the door, or you could apply it a little bit heavier, let it sit for a minute or so to bump up the coverage. But I would say it's a good medium coverage. Something about this is so creamy and just hydrating. If you have dry under eyes, this would be a pick. Easy to blend, moisturizing, lasts all day. So I've been loving this. If you haven't tried it, I highly recommend it. In terms of eyeshadow, I really only have one palette. You guys know that I don't wear a ton of colorful palettes on my eyes most days. I'm wearing this on my eyes right now. This is the Makeup by Mario Master Mattes, and I adore this palette. First of all, the tones are perfect. They're all matte, so I do have one of his shimmer toppers on my lid, but this has just been my everyday go-to. Sort of reminds me of the tones of like the Vib palette, but it's all mattes, and they're buildable. So that's one thing I want to note, that I think a lot of people might try this and think, oh, this isn't pigmented, this isn't good, because we're so used to super high pigment, put it on, blend it out. This one you pack on some more, pack on some more. So I feel like this would be great for beginners just because you have control. You can really build what you'd like to build. And if you want a soft wash, you can get that. So I've really been enjoying this. It's been top drawer for me. I love that it's buildable and I love the tones. Moving on to my favorite category, which is blush. And I have to say, this is the year of cream blush in general. My top pick that's new is the Melt cream blushes. If you don't add anything else to your cart, add one of these to your cart. I'm telling you, this is a foolproof formula. It's so easy to work with. So I first applied Sandy Cheeks today, which is a really kind of burnt orange color, but still quite neutral. And I was like, you know what? I need a little bit more punch. So I went in and added on Honey Thief. These are so creamy, so blendable. They work beautifully over powder, which is a huge thing for me. If it doesn't work over powder, I typically will not mess with it. And this is over a set face. So you can see the glow that it gives me without picking up my foundation or making it patchy. This is a foolproof formula. If you're new to creams or you're afraid of them, or you feel like, you know what, I wear powder, I couldn't wear a cream, you can wear these. I also picked up one that is more shimmery. It's sort of like somebody said NARS Orgasm in a cream form, which it is, and it blended beautifully too. I wore this the other day. I haven't worn it on camera, but the shimmer just gave me a nice sort of glow. It didn't enhance my texture. It's not gritty. These are just stunning, so I highly recommend these. I actually might buy a few more. I'm so impressed with this formula. They killed it. I also don't feel right doing any of these Sephora recommendations without just giving another shout out to the Patrick Ta blush duos. I have to say, the Melt and the Patrick Ta are at a tie at how perfectly gorgeous the formula is. The colors are so beautiful. This is very similar to the Melt formula in the fact that they are just foolproof. You can use them over powder. I'm talking baking heavy powder set face. You can still use these. And I love that you get a powder in here as well. I use the powders a ton. You can use the cream and powder. You can just use the cream, whatever you'd like to do. I really have to shout these out every single time because these have never left my top drawer since they came out. And it's been a long time since they've came out. I bought all 4 shades myself. If he came out with 4 more, I would buy 4 more. And he did just come out with sculpting duos. So it's like a bronzer and contour. So a cream contour and then a bronzing powder. I've already bought one and I'm supposed to be getting them in PR, but I was like, if they don't send them and they sell out, I'm gonna be heartbroken. I know a lot of you have oily skin or you use matte foundations like I do, or you bake and heavily set with powder, and I'm here to tell you, do not be afraid of the Patrick Ta or the Melt cream blushes. They are absolute perfection. And I couldn't talk about cream blushes without recommending the Tower 28 blushes. My favorite shade from them is still an original shade, which is called Golden Hour. It is just the perfect burnt orange color, but I do have to say that their new colors are gorgeous, especially if you have tan, deep skin. This is Power Hour, and then we also have After Hours, which is a little bit more berry. I will say that this is the thickest formula, probably the most tacky, but also the most dewy. So I feel like the Patrick Ta and the Melt is a little bit dewy, but it's not as dewy as a Tower 28. If you want more of that really wet, dewy look, I would say pick the Tower 28. So here are the colors, very pigmented. You can use them on your lips or your cheeks. Anybody can use them. I use them just sheared out with a sponge, but I just thought these colors were so beautiful, especially this one. It has that really brown undertone to give you that sun-kissed look. So I couldn't talk about cream blushes without shouting out Tower 28 because they still remain one of my top picks. I also wanted to recommend the LYS cream blushes. Now I was hesitant to recommend these because they've been sold out ever since I reviewed them, and I don't think they're gonna be back. It's a newer brand at Sephora, but I still wanna recommend it if you're looking and maybe they do pop back. So I have the shade Inspire and Confident. Confident is more mauve-y. These are a thicker formula too. You really kind of have to work them in, but then they're really, really, really pigmented. Again, they play beautifully over powder, and that's what I'm looking for. They're not crazy dewy like the Tower 28. They're sort of right in the middle. And I really love this shade here called Inspire, which is more of that like burnt color. So definitely wanted to give these a quick shout out. I think the formula is gorgeous. They've been sold out forever, which I understand why, but if you do happen to see these back in stock, I would definitely recommend them. I have one highlighter that I really want to recommend that's new to me, and that is the Danessa Myricks Lightwork palette. You guys know that I've raved about this. I'm wearing it right now. I have to say this is just such a beautiful highlight palette. First of all, it's huge. You get a ton of product in here. Danessa Myricks is a Black-owned beauty brand, so always love to support that. But beyond that, these are creamy, intense, but they blend in the skin like butter. So you can really buff them in and they become one with the skin. They're not dry, patchy, flaky. There's a deeper option as well. So this is a lighter option, but there's a deeper option as well. And I feel like if you are a makeup artist, this would be perfect for your kit. I'm just blown away by the quality of these, how creamy they are while being a powder. So I would definitely recommend this. One last base product I just had to mention again, if you are new to my channel or you just haven't picked this up, I highly encourage you to pick up the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. This is hands down the best. I picked up the mini, used it up, now I have this and I'm making my way down. This is just the best long-lasting setting spray that I've ever tried, but it also gives you some sort of nice, I don't want to say dew to your skin, but it kind of melts your powders in while also locking your makeup in. And there's so many of you that have commented like you're a nurse or you work long hours, you're a frontline worker, and you use this and it lasts under your mask, which is huge, especially now with what we're dealing with. But also if I was getting married, I would be using this. This is just the best long-lasting makeup setting spray that I've ever tried. I really wouldn't be without it. It is like top pick for me, just really changed the makeup game. And I feel like when I spray this on, my makeup just isn't moving all day. Moving on to lips, I have a lip gloss or a lip balm that I just have to mention because I already have one in my cart and I'm picking it up. This is the Lawless Forget the Filler. I've just been adoring this. Something about this is just so yummy on the lips. It just feels amazing, and it's multi-use because you can put it over your lipstick as a lip gloss and it has that intense shine, but it also is like a treatment. It just feels incredible on the lips. It has a slight cooling effect. They say it's supposed to plump your lips and make the lines disappear, but for me, something about this is so hydrating. So this is my daytime balm. So typically when I sit down to do my makeup after I shower, I will put this on before I do my makeup, and it just really hydrates my lips. It's one of those that I don't know how else to say it other than you put it on and you're like, that's what I needed. This is just that for me. It's just a beautiful product. I hope they come out with tinted versions. I almost think they might because I feel like this has a shade to it. It's like light pink or clear pink or something. It really is just clear on the lips, but I would love to see this formula in glosses from Lawless because it's so high shine and just so comfortable on the lips. So this is a definite recommend from me. In terms of lipsticks, I have to give a shout out to the one I'm wearing on my lips right now. This is literally perfect. This shade is perfection. I love the formula. My friend Cheryl recommended this. This is the Bare Minerals Mineralist Hydra Smoothing Lipstick in the shade Grace. This is what I love to pair with a brown lip liner. For some reason, it just brings everything together. When I use a pink lipstick and a pink blush or a peachy blush, like the Melt one, I just feel like it really livens up my face. Something about pink tones or just really light baby doll tones. I just love them. They work so perfectly for me. Now, there's a ton of shades in this range, but I love the formula on this. It's pigmented. It's not thick. I don't get that weird line. It's nice and creamy, so I highly recommend these. Also, I had to include this product. I recently did a sponsorship with YSL Beauty, which was so exciting for me. I really was shocked, honestly, when I was chosen. I was like, me? Like me? So I was really excited and I got to pick out the products that I wanted to use, and they had a new collection of their Rouge Volupté lipsticks. So I picked out this shade 122, and you guys, this color is so freaking gorgeous for spring and summer coming up. Again, like this with one of the Tower 28 blushes or the Melt blushes. So beautiful. These smell incredible. The packaging is beautiful, but the colors in this new line are so beautiful. I already have another nude that I'm eyeing because they all have kind of like it's called the Burning Chilies collection. So they all have that burnt kind of color story to them. Nudes, terracottas, colors like this. And I cannot believe the compliments you guys gave me when I wore this in my video. I did it in natural light, and you guys, like a lot of you were like, that's my favorite look you've ever done. Like, oh my goodness. I paired it with an orange blush and it was just stunning. If you're someone that hates that dry down liquid lipstick, like matte, cracky lip products, and you want something that's super hydrating but also gives you color, this is it. It's so beautiful. They're called lipstick balms, but they actually have pigment, and I was just blown away. I bought this online, and when I got it, I was like, yes, like I picked the right color. So definitely want to recommend this. I feel like this is just the perfect, I don't know, pop of color for spring and summer. Next, I have a tool that I want to mention because I'm so in love with it. I have not stopped using it since I got it, and I've actually stopped using tweezers to apply my lashes. So I recently did a sponsorship with Velour Beauty, which lately I just feel like I've been so lucky working with brands that I've dreamed of working with. So they have their new vegan lashes, which I love because I don't wear mink lashes, but they sent me along their little tool to apply them. This has made applying lashes so much easier. Something about the shape of it, it really just grabs the lash band and you just sit it right on your lash. It's something about the angle of it. It's like perfect. So I just sit it on my lash, and then it has a tiny little, I guess, tip on it, sort of like tweezers, but it's not pointy to where it can, like, you know, poke you. And I just placed the outer portion and the inner portion. I demoed it in the video, but I have to say I have not touched my tweezers since. This is just such a helpful tool. I feel like my lashes are just going on easier. I'm not struggling. It's just something about this tool in particular, I don't know. I've tried them in the past and I didn't like them from other brands. And I also use it to press my lashes together. I don't know if you can see, but it just goes right in perfectly. And you just squeeze your natural lashes in with your falsies. So you guys know I wouldn't mention something if I really didn't think it was worth it. But I have to say this has made putting on lashes even easier because I feel like it's just done wonders for me, and I'm converted. And now I will not use tweezers anymore. So I think that is it for makeup, just because I could go on and on and on and talk about a ton of stuff, but I'm gonna link down below like the Gucci bronzer I'm still loving. There's some products I'm still loving, but I didn't want to be repetitive and go over and over and over again. So I will link other makeup products down below. So definitely check below if you're like, well, what? She didn't mention a powder, or she didn't mention this. Check down below and I will link products for you guys. But I have two perfumes that I really want to shout out. And the first one is this Skylar Vanilla Sky. This is so gorgeous. It is vanilla, cappuccino, caramel. This is so light and airy, beautiful fragrance. It gives me those cozy vibes. It can go like cozy fireplace, or it can go like cozy beach vibes. It's just a stunning fragrance. I actually got sent a sample from Scentbird, and I went halfway through it, and then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna buy it during the sale. And then it showed up on my doorstep as PR, which is so weird because I've never gotten PR from them. But I have to say, this just smells so light and airy. If you love vanilla, caramel, it's a soft, soft scent. This is not gonna give you a headache. It's just a beautiful, I don't know, kind of just soft vanilla scent. I've been enjoying it a lot. You know, I couldn't talk about fragrance without giving a shout out to one of my top fragrances of all time, which is Kilian Love Don't Be Shy. This is the smaller size, but I have the large bottle as well. I am just in love with this fragrance. They say that Rihanna wears this, but I have to say, if you like sweeter than sweet marshmallow fragrances, you will love this. This smells like grape candy to me with marshmallow undertones. It is sickly sweet, which I love, and it just melts into the skin and just smells incredible. Like, it's almost like a gourmand where, again, it's like that vanilla, caramel, marshmallow kind of smell, but it has a twist of like grape bubble gum. It just smells incredible to me. If you don't like sweet, you will not like this, but for me, it continues to be top drawer. Every time I put it on, I just get like smells throughout the day, and it just makes me feel good. It's one of my favorite fragrances of all time. In terms of skincare, I only have one product because for me, I feel like skincare is very personal, and I've been struggling with hormonal acne, and I feel like I found the products for me. And I'm not the type to put on like 6 eye creams and, you know, a gel moisturizer and a tonic and a spray and a toner. Like, for me, that will just wreck my skin. But I have to say, this product is so good. I've only had it for a week, but I bought it myself. I actually saw it on TikTok, but I saw a dermatologist recommend it, and that's why I picked it up. This is from the Inky List. I've never tried anything from them, and what's great about this is it's so affordable. Now, I don't know if it's included in the sale because I know like The Ordinary isn't, so this might not be, but it's affordable anyways. This is the Oat Cleansing Balm. Helps remove makeup and cleanse sensitive skin. So essentially, it comes out like this kind of oil gel, and then you just rub it on a damp face and it removes your makeup, sort of like a, you know, like a makeup removing balm, and it just feels so soothing and hydrating on your skin. So I'll just rub this all over my face, even my eyes. It doesn't burn my eyes. It doesn't get like in my contacts, because I've definitely had that where I feel like my vision is cloudy or it burns my eyes. And I just rub it all over, and then I take either a cotton pad or you can take a face halo, whatever you have, washcloth, and wipe it off. And then I just cleanse my face with a separate cleanser. So I use this as a makeup remover. Something about this formula is just so soothing for sensitive skin, so I definitely agree with that. I posted about it on my Instagram stories the first time I used it, and my friend Cheryl texted me and she goes, "You've never used that before? It's phenomenal." And I'm like, I'm in love. So we both love it. Plus the price was amazing on it, so I'm definitely gonna check out more products from them. But if you're looking for a makeup remover that's super, super gentle, I highly recommend this. So I have one hair product I wanna talk about, and that is the Color Wow Dream Coat. This is called the Supernatural Spray. Magically transforms texture, amazing humidity proofing powers. So I saw I Love Sarah E talking about this, and maybe even Desi Perkins a while back. So I bought it from their website, but you can now get it on Sephora. This is incredible. It says it lasts for 3 to 4 shampoos. I only use this when I'm going to do my hair straight. Something about this just smooths the hair and all of your frizz and flyaways. Any of like, I have breakage down here from wearing my hair up or pulling it back tight with a ponytail, or breakage around my ear. And this just really smooths everything out. It really does tame your frizz and just give you that like dreamy, silky, smooth hair. So you just spray it on to damp hair and then blow dry it. So it's heat activated, and that's kind of how it works. I'm about halfway through the bottle. I would definitely repurchase this. Whenever I'm gonna wear my hair straight or I know I'm gonna flat iron it, I reach for this, and I think it's such a good product. I have one hair tool to show you, and I'm only showing you because this is the best curling iron that I've ever tried. This is the T3 Single Pass 1-inch curling iron. This is the best for holding your curl. So this is my hair, second day hair. I can actually brush through my curls, which is something that I never could do. I have very fine hair, so my hair just won't hold a curl. Like no matter what I do, it just wouldn't hold a curl. This has changed the game. I don't even have to pin my curls. If I want my curls to last, I'll just use a texturizing mousse when my hair is damp, dry my hair, and then I just use this curling iron. I don't pin them. I just let them cool in the position that they end up in, and then I can actually brush through them and they don't fall. Like the fact that I still have like bouncy curls while brushing through them, I would see people all over the internet like, brush through your curls, you know, make them like nice and soft and wavy. In the past, with any other curling iron, I would brush through and they would just go limp. And I would get so frustrated, like, how do these girls do that? Like, how do they get them to last for days? I can get these to last for 3 days. That's incredible for me. Like 3 days, I have to wash my hair every like 3 days anyways. I will wake up tomorrow and still have a nice wave in my hair. So this is the best curling iron I've ever tried. If you have problems with your hair going limp, not curling, there's something special about this one. It's well worth the money, especially if you can get 20% off, so I will link it down below. So those are my recommendations that I feel like are really, really standing out. If I miss anything or if there's something maybe I didn't mention, I will link down below. I just didn't want this video to be an hour long and go through stuff that I've mentioned the past, 2 or 3 recommendations videos. I really wanted to just tell you the products that are really, really, really wowing me. So I want to move on to my wish list. So these are things that I'm eyeing. A couple of you have asked me like, what are you looking at or what are you interested in? So there's only a few products that are newer, but I wanted to talk about them. The first one, you guys already know. I have my eye on and I already did order one. I feel like maybe I should have waited, but I just couldn't. And I'm supposed to be getting them in PR. I got an email I want to say a week ago, and they wanted to send them to me before they even announced it. And I was like, yes, like I was just so excited, but I never want to rely on PR because if something happens and I can't get my hands on this, I literally will cry. So I bought the middle shade, but if I get them in PR, I'll swatch them all for you and we will play with them. But I just couldn't wait. So that's definitely already been purchased. But if I was waiting till the sale, I would 100% add that to my cart. I also am eyeing the Artist Couture Ethereal Bloom eyeshadow palette. I just thought these colors were so beautiful. And again, I tend to wear, one and done colors, either neutral colors or I'll put, like an orange or a pink or a tan shade in my crease. And this has an orange, it has a neutral shade, it also has some pinks in there. I just think it looks so cute. I recently bought his face palettes off his website. So I don't know, I'm just really interested in trying it. I haven't tried, I don't think Artist Couture eyeshadow, so that is definitely on my wish list. I'm also checking out the Bare Minerals Gen Nude Bronzer Blush I can't speak. Bronzer, blush, and bronzer. So it's supposed to be a bronzer and blush in one. To me, they just look like gorgeous, shimmery, satin blushes. So I've been eyeing those since they've come on the website. So I'm definitely keeping an eye out for that. Also, really excited to get the Olaplex number 8 Bond Intense Moisture Mask. I love anything Olaplex. I have repurchased and repurchased. For some reason, they just get me, okay? With blonde hair, just works well for my hair. I really don't think I've tried a product from them that I don't like. Really have been happy with all of their products, and I feel like if you have really damaged hair, I recommend the number 3 treatment the most, but I have pretty much every product from them, and I've been happy with them. So an intense moisture mask, definitely on my list. I think it comes out a couple days before the sale, so I will definitely be buying that. And the last thing I'm eyeing is the new mini palettes from Huda Beauty. So there's 3 different colorways, but they're all very neutral. There's caramel, toffee, and chocolate. I really love her eyeshadow formula, and I do like these 9-pan palettes just because, again, I'm just not using a ton of eyeshadow recently. So for me, I would throw a couple in the crease, maybe a shimmer on the inner corner and be done. And I just think these have such beautiful colorways, even though they are pretty natural. So I might get them in PR. If I don't, I'll probably throw 1 or 2 in my cart. All right, guys, so that's everything for my Sephora VIB sale recommendations. I will link everything I talked about down below, as well as if I forgot anything or if there's just some repeats that I'm still adoring, and I will leave honorable mentions as well. So let me know, what are you picking up? Are you doing restocks? Are you getting new products? What are you most excited about? I hope you'll subscribe if you're new. Thank you guys again so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.